The year is 1840. Most people of Ireland relied on potatoes as a source of nutrition. In the mid-1800s, there was a crop failure that caused a famine that led to 750,000 people starving to death. Because of the famine, many Irish moved to America in the search of a better life. However, it was much harder than they had hoped.
Hello.
Hey honey,
Hi,
my
Dad.
angels, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? What
Just
happened
got.
to your hand?
Oh, I just hurt my hand at work today. It's kind of a long story. I don't really want to talk about it.
What happened?
Um,
Everything okay?
yeah, I mean, you remember my one friend Fergus,
Yeah.
my best friend? Yeah. We were in the coal mine today, and the the walls in the coal mine, like half of it just started to collapse, and while he was trying to mine the part in. And as it was collapsing, I just reached in to grab him, and then like everything just fell on him, and all I had was just his arm, and then another rock fell on my arm, and it just cut my hand taut, and I just let him go.
The
He's
coal
gone.
mines are
Yeah,
so dangerous. I
I
don't think you
know.
guys should. That's terrible.
Yeah, like I barely made it out alive, and I don't know. I don't have much of an appetite, and I'm just really
Scares me.
sad.
What would we
Yeah.
do without you?
Yeah, I know. I mean, as long as you guys are okay, I'm happy.
Well, let's eat,
All
guys.
right.
You guys
Potatoes
did.
again.
Potatoes
All right.
again.
You can have mine. Alrighty, girls, is it okay if we do a prayer to Fergus before we eat? Because I just think that's the least we could do before we enjoy this meal. Okay?
Yes.
Alright, can we all hold hands? Alright, thank you, Lord, for the food that is given to us today. And I know that Fergus isn't here to join us in this meal, and I hope that we wish the best of him, and I wish that he goes to he enjoys his life in heaven, and I hope we enjoy these potatoes for today. And I hope that every day is a blessing for all of us. And Jesus says, in Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, let's say Amen.
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 God bless.
You know, life in America, it's it's a lot harder here because we do we do so much work in like really poor conditions, and we get such a low pay for it. But we are getting paid slightly more than we did back in Ireland, but we get discriminated so much because a lot of us Irish people love to. I mean, we are willing to work for a lower pay than Americans are, and therefore we get hired for more companies. And the Americans or people of New York also just hate us for that. And we only earn up to even like $1 a day, and I mean, I need this job because my family has nothing, and they need me to support them.
Here because I'm an Irish mother immigrant, and I immigrated from Ireland because of the potato famine that was going on over there. We had no food to eat, so we decided to leave Ireland and come to America. But we came on these ships that we called coffin ships. They were terrible. They had just disease, we were crammed, bodies on top of bodies. We even lost our grandpa on the ship. It was so awful. We had to throw him overboard and just, you know, it was terrible. Anyways, we got to America, and right as we got to America, we're bombarded by these Irish immigrants that were supposed to help us. But they ended up taking advantage of us. They took us to their friend's house where it was supposed to be good living conditions, and they were going to take care of us and feed us, and we were going to have, wealth and, good family atmosphere. But anyways, they ended up stealing, robbing from us, taking our money, and then leaving us in these dwellings that had no ventilation, no water, no sunlight. We were crammed into one room. It's disgusting. We're still in this living situation. Like, all I have are these rag clothes now. It's terrible. So yeah, we wanted to go back to Ireland because hopefully the potato famine is over there now. But I don't think it is, and I don't think we're going to make it back on those ships alive. We'd probably end up dying, so we're just going to stay here and stick it out with our 2-cent wages and call it a day and live in our disease-filled world with all the trash. It's terrible.
Today, I saw the riots on the street. Some Protestant mobs were burning down all of our Catholic churches and homes.
It's terrible. I can't believe that.
Such a shame. It's not one of
Well, we are considered one of the lowest social standings here in New York. Most Americans that live here are Protestant and they don't agree with our Catholic beliefs and practices. When it comes to working, most people despise us because we are willing to work for the same jobs for lower wages. However, sometimes our people can't find work at all because businesses will post signs that read, "No Irish need apply." Another form of discrimination we face is the Know Nothing Party, which discriminates against our Catholic beliefs and the fact that we are immigrants. The daily struggles we face are dreadful.
The Know Nothings were a nativist group that were afraid of the Irish just because they were different. They had different beliefs, customs, religion, and language compared to the Americans. Nativists wanted to limit immigration and preserve the white American culture. Because of the Know Nothing Party, it took immigrants longer to become citizens and voters. The Irish were also not allowed to buy property or hold public office. They struggled at the bottom, inferior to all white Americans, and eventually there was a repeal of all naturalization laws, which prohibited citizenship to immigrants.
During the famine, around 650,000 Irish arrived in the New York harbor, many of them children of all ages ranging from 3 to 12. Approximately 1,500 of those children were on the streets begging for money and making trouble. In other parts of New York, some children were even part of prostitution. On the other hand, there were those that could afford to go to school, but instead of being welcomed, they were bullied. They were called names because of the beliefs they had, the different customs, and the way they looked. Because the Irish often lived in unsanitary conditions, there was no place to bathe for proper hygiene. Children lived in cramped places on the streets, leading to diseases that would not allow them to live past the age of 6.
Children that were homeless often faced a disease called cholera. This disease is the result of bacteria that is found in areas with poor sanitation and dirty water. It causes severe dehydration, diarrhea, and vomiting. Once someone is inflicted with the disease, they only survive from a day to only a couple of hours. Cholera soon became known through New York as the poor man's plague. The Irish lived in the worst housing and most crowded conditions and were prone to getting it as well. Overall, the Irish faced many hardships coming to America. They thought immigration was what they needed to begin a better life. However, they struggled for survival economically and socially in the state of New York. The Irish went through hard working conditions, poor living conditions, and oppression and discrimination. Although they dealt with all these negative aspects coming into America, they still stayed and hoped for the best.
Well, you know, fuck, man.
So life is.
Before then, like that's what the slaves have to do. This meal of everyday potatoes that hopefully they taste better today, and I hope that
You guys have a great day. We'll see you later.